Hey my dear friends, I've been really enjoying doing some digitally colored sketches lately, and I thought I could take you along and show you how to do it, and maybe you could do it as well, and maybe tag me on Instagram if you do it. So first of all, you need to select your sketch. I'm just going through my sketchbook, see what sticks, see what just speaks to me, and this trick works with virtually any sketch, so you can really choose what you want to draw that day. I think I'm gonna start with this little fremine, just to demonstrate how to do it. Simply take a picture of your sketch and then load it into whatever drawing program you like to use the most. I'm gonna be using Procreate. As long as your drawing program has layers, you're golden. To be able to color beneath your sketch, just set the layer that the sketch is on, or like that the picture is on, to multiply. This way all the light or white parts will become translucent and the dark parts will remain the same. Now you can put a layer underneath your layer with the sketch and just color. It will show up as if it was on the page. Now you can freely color using all your digital brushes and tricks underneath the sketch. You might have to go a little darker than you initially think, because if the picture that you took isn't perfectly white, it won't be fully translucent, so there might be like a little hue of color on top, but you can still make it work. Just keep in mind that you might need a little bit of a higher saturation for your colors. I personally enjoy preserving the life of the sketch by letting the coloring be pretty loose and like textured, and not worry about covering every spot perfectly, so it flows better with the vibe of the sketch. My sketches are pretty messy though, so I can get away with a lot of mess, but if you have a lot more cleaner sketches, it might lend itself better to the finished piece if you stay really clean. That entirely depends on you though. Whatever works with your specific art or whatever you want to create, you have free reign, because this is art and you can do whatever you want. You could also take a picture from a little bit further away from your sketch and have like the whole sketchbook in it, and that would make a pretty Instagram post for sure. Coloring sketches this way preserves the texture of the paper for your sketch and makes them look more natural, or like just different than just digital work, I think. Both has its merit, but this is definitely a specific way I like to do it. And here it is, the finished result of the Fremine sketch digitally colored. I think it turned out great. It's just a little too sketchy for me. The sketch is really messy. Not that that's a bad thing, but I want to make something a little bit more clean to show you how much you can get out of this process. I have this suguru geto sketch that I'm pretty proud of, and I think he would lend himself well to be colored digitally. So let's go over it once again. Import your picture into your drawing program and set the layer that the picture is imported to multiply. Create a layer underneath the layer with the sketch, and now you're free to color as you please. Keep in mind you might need to use a little bit more color if the paper isn't perfectly white in your picture. This is pretty close to white, I think, and it worked perfectly for the sketch. So let's color this little ghetto in, and try not to think about the stuff happening in the Shibuya arc right now if you're watching Jujutsu Kaisen. Just try to remember the first season where everything was fine. I find this process really relaxing, so let's just hang out a little bit and color and see where the art takes us. I really enjoy using traditional sketches and digital coloring because it kind of gives me the best of both worlds. I feel like if you sketch and do line work digitally, it often lacks the friction or the resistance of the page because it's a smooth iPad screen, so you like glide much more easily, and that really changes the feel of the sketch. For as on paper, you have the tooth of the paper and everything resisting your pen, making things be a little different, and so I like to preserve that and still have all my color choices and all of my digital brushes to give it texture and stuff like that. So I think this way it really is the best of both worlds for me sometimes, and it's really a nice change of pace if you're constantly working digitally. So I would really recommend you trying this method if you haven't already, just to see if it's something for you. One more tip before this video is over. I'll show you a background technique that works with literally any character. Often draw the character first and don't think about the background, but this literally works with everything, like every single character that I've drawn so far. So here it is. So you add a big blue blob or square behind your character, just like sky blue color. If you have drawn this digitally, you might want to go over your character and like white it out so there's not this blue hue all over your character. But yeah, have the blue frame your character. You can use pretty much any color for this. I like the sky blue color because it reminds me of the hidden inventory arc, so it really fits well for Geto, I think, but you can go with literally any color for this. And then you just want to add some clouds or some stars or any sky shapes that your heart desires. I swear, I know it sounds easy and like a little bit lame, but it does genuinely look good if you haven't thought of a background before and you're just like trying to make one up as you go. Try this one with literally any character. It turns out looking pretty good. But yeah, thank you so much for hanging out with me and drawing with me. You can find me on Instagram or on TikTok or pretty much most spaces on the internet. Links to that are all in the description. I also have a Patreon where you can get monthly goodies in the mail or even a mentorship. And I also have a Skillshare class, so if you want to check that out, make sure to click all of the links in the description and subscribe here on YouTube if you want to see more videos. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!